Hello everybody on the internet watching, and welcome to the kickoff of the second half of the regular season of the Totally Normal Football League's third season. We're here in Michigan as the Seattle Stoats take on the number one in the league, Michigan Hellcats, in what should be a very entertaining game. The Stoats have won the opening coin toss and have chosen to defer possession to the Hellcats, so they'll get the first return of the game. The Hellcats 4-1 with the best point differential out of them and the Janitors, breaking the 4-1 tie. And the Stoats looking for a win after, even though they won a 7-3 game against the Rollers, their offense looked dreadful. So hoping to be a little bit better against a big team in Michigan. Ben Sports returning the ball almost to the 40-yard line. And it will be Alex Fops, who is a quarterback in this league. I'm so used to saying he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but when you're throwing 2 to 3 interceptions a game, it's kind of remarkable. Play action pass, it's caught by Jeremy B out of bounds. So Fops looking to the air immediately in this matchup. The Stoats pass rush was a large reason they were able to keep the Rollers to only a singular field goal on their opening possession. Virgie Hamilton, DeMar Hott, DJ Majario, and even Craig Holgrane's defensive tackle number 2 really stepped it up. He's Ducey trying to go to the outside, and he's stopped by a returning Ben Zeitgeist, who missed last week due to concussion protocol. He's back in, and he's already getting involved in the defense, stopping the best running back in the league. That was Ace Ducey receiving the handoff there. Number 22, he's been running over defenses all season long. He currently has the most rushing, and Fops has to throw early due to pressure. He has to throw behind the sticks. And while Brinks gets a great catch, he is tackled behind the first down marker, and it's going to be a fourth down for the Hellcats. Richard stretch pull out to punt. And I think that's something that we're going to have to see the Hellcats deal with in order to be successful here. Is can they go? Oh my God, what a great Richard stretch pull punt, but the back bounce put it over the 20 when it bounced at between the 5 and the 10. It's just weird. The Hellcats just didn't want to down it. If they were a bit more on the ball, literally in this case, this could have been a great punt, but Stoats will get their first possession at their own 21. But if the Hellcats really want success here, especially in the passing game, they'll have to deal with the pass rush. Gironi foul play getting stopped by Scott Colonel Pop. Now, I already told you to watch out for Scott Colonel Pop even before last week when I was introducing him, but if you don't have his name engraved in your mind as one of the best middle linebackers in this league right now, well, get out the chisel and do so now, because he was instrumental in the Hellcats' victory last week. 2 interceptions that should have been 4 as foul play runs up the middle for a 3.5-yard gain. A couple of interceptions, a couple of tip-aways, and some great run stopping. He is the field general of this Hellcats defense. And standing in front of him are Toby Wrightyson, DeMarcus Bacon, and Dante Landros. As Schertzer throws to the side and nearly throws an interception. Chris Furious on tight man coverage of the running back, Gironi foul play. That's going to bring up 4th down. Both teams unable to get a first down on their opening possessions. Gabriel DeSavior out to punt it back to the Hellcats. Ben Sports back deep to return. Long higher time. Airtime. Ben Sports was forced to wave the free catch as he's got a Stoat barreling towards him. So the Hellcats at their own 32. The Stoats were able to hold the Rollers to only 3 points. However, their own offense was similarly not eating as well. They only scored a singular touchdown. Ace Ducey on the counter run picks up a great block to the 50. Is stopped by Ben Zeitgeist past the 50, and this is why the Hellcats has been such a devastating team. When Ace Ducey gets the great blocking that he gets from his amazing team members, he will go for more than 5 yards statistically. At one point this season, he had an 8.9 average, and I think that was going into week 5. It's absolutely insane. Alex Fops throws it over the middle. It's caught by Jeremy B, almost at the Stoats 25. The Hellcats blazing down the field now at a speed much quicker than in their first drive. You see the lone back. Play action. Fops throws it to the corner. Robin Banks has separation. It's out of bounds. Although that looks close. I wonder if they're going to throw a challenge here. It's all about that right foot being out of bounds. But it looks like the Hellcats coach is going to save the challenge flag for later, and they'll just take the first down incompletion. Second down still at the 32. Fops going out of the pocket, throwing once again to the corner, trying to get it to Jeremy B, but close coverage on Dennis Creamy means that it's tipped away. Third down, Hellcats. With Ben Cowjet's great leg, they are in field goal range from here. But Fops will stand in the shotgun beside Ace Ducey. 4 wide receiver sets. Fops play actions, throws it to the corner. Jeremy B can't get his hands on it, and even if he did, he was out of bounds. That'll bring up 4th down, and the Hellcats with an opportunity to get the first score of the game. The forced score on 4th down, I guess. Yeah, Cowjet with a 44-yarder. And this, as ever, dead center. The Hellcats go up 3. Now the onus is on the Stoats. That is one thing. While I keep making fun of Alex Fops' interceptions, his ability to consistently get it down the field, both with Ace Ducey and with his wide receiver core, just consistently, you know, when he's not throwing interceptions, is just why the Hellcats are 4-1 this season. Craig Quafford returning the ball. He'll get it to the 20, trying to stick and move around the defenders, but he'll get taken down. So it'll be Marquis Schertzer taken to the field for the second time. Brett Fieldstrong got a foul play behind him in the I formation. Hellcats really loading up the tackle box. Foul play turns through the middle of the field, and he'll keep running through a Toby Radisson tackle for a first down. That's a 12-yard run. And if you're a fan of the run game, this game might be for you between Gironi Foul Play and Ace Ducey. Especially if the Stoats have been able to solve their run blocking problems that all season have been fantastic, but they just couldn't get anything going against the Rollers. Marquis Schertzer keeps it on a 3-yard scramble up forward before being taken down hard by one of the linebackers. Didn't catch the number of that bust, but it sure hit him hard. Stoats at the 35 for a second down. Another I formation for the Stoats. This one a strong I. Or a weak eye, actually. It's flipped. Schertzer pump fakes, has a guy in front of him, has to throw it away to a group of Hellcats. That's tipped away, intended for Bram Van Spakelaus, but he was mighty covered. Great pressure there from the Hellcats, brings up a third down. 3rd and 7, still at the 35. Still in the I formation. Schertzer steps back. Hellcats send forward. Pump fake. Throw to the side, and it's incomplete. It was a wheel route for the running back, but the timing was not there. That'll bring up 4th down and a punt. Gabriel the Savior kicks it to the left side of the field. This one should be good. Good eyes there from Ben Sports to leave it alone and let it bounce into the end zone. If that was a couple of degrees wider, that would have been to about the 2-yard line, but he used his judgment, saw I was going into the end zone, and so Alex Fops picks the ball up back at the 20. Ducey on the counter run, shakes off a tackle, picks up a block. That'll be 5 yards As Zeitgeist and Creamy take him down. Good run for Ducey for 5 yards. Hellcats at the 25. Draw play to Ducey. Pardons me his way for a 3-yard run. They're going to be a yard short or so of the first down marker. Make it a yard and a half. 3rd down for the Stoats. And the Hellcats really trying to attack the inside this drive with Ducey. We'll see if Fops introduces some play action on 3rd down. Some classic TNFL bullshit that will definitely result in incomplete. Roy Burley in as running back. And Fops trying to pass it. Tries to get it to Jeremy B on a lazy slant. But that is knocked away incomplete. And it'll be 4th down. Richard stretch pull. His 2nd punt of the day. Greg Quafford once again back to return. So other than a field goal on the Hellcats' 2nd possession, it's been a quiet game so far. This first half is... What a great return there. Although the ball's loose, and it's picked up by Ryan Tapdown, and there's no one there to tackle him. That is a fumble recovery touchdown for the Hellcats, and that will make them go up 9. I was about to say that was an excellent return from Ryan Coulier, who was stepping in for Quake Quaffit. As the two of them are the 2 kick punt returners. He was running wide of the defenders, getting a lot of yards out of it, but he couldn't protect the ball as it was punched out of him. And Ryan Tapdown, the nickelback, scooped it up. And now Michigan up 10-0. The notes. Craig Quaffit back out. He shakes a tackle. Won't get it much further past the 20-yard line. So the Stoats now find themselves down 10 points after a kick return from hell. Perhaps from purgatory. If it was from hell, it would be the Shitbirds last week against the Gators. Good lord. Johnny foul play. Receives the outside pitch, but nobody there to block Gary Osiris, who has injured his hand tackling down the running back. He'll be sent to the sidelines to get that checked out. That is not good. If Gary Osiris has a major hand injury, that'll be the 2nd season in a row that he's received an injury. And the Hellcats have been able to maintain, they've been able to be injury-free so far this season. Foul play off tackle, but that handoff taking so long. Dante Landraw's able to tackle him down for a loss. Stoats find themselves on 3rd down as we end the first quarter. Hellcats up 10-0 after a field goal and a fumble recovery touchdown on special teams. So that tackle for loss pushing the Stoats back to 3rd and 11 at their own 22-yard line. Marquis Schertzer in the shotgun beside foul play. To kick off this quarter, Hellcats send 5. They get it out. It's none other than Frank Mellenballer catching the pass at the 35 for a first down. Or that's the 45, actually. Mellenballer on the corner route. Gets inside of Kevin Garbo. And if there's one player the Stoats can rely on play after play, dislocated his thumb for Gary Osiris, so it's not a major injury, but it's enough for him to not be able to make the rest of the game. And that's an interception! Marquis Schertzer thought he had the slant, and jumping on it is Trevor Twirlyworld, the free safety. And the Stoats not looking good so far on this game. They've had issues on special teams giving up a touchdown, and now Marquis Schertzer throws his first pick of the game. And now the Hellcats have advantageous field position at the Stoats 36. Trevor Twirly-World, drafted by the Hellcats this season. He's a rookie. Ace Ducey shakes a tackle, and he'll get 5 yards off of that. Any other running back, that would have been a tackle for loss, but Ace Ducey is built like a shithouse, man. He is never falling down. Hellcats at the Stoats 30. Fops going back to pass. Not a lot of pressure from the Stoats. And wide open is Jason Grunge, the tight end, past the 10-yard line. And that will get the Hellcats into the red zone. Yeah, just not a lot of pass pressure from the Stoats on that play at all. They played heavy coverage for some reason, which is very unlike them. Well, DJ Amjaria was able to shake his block. It was just far too late. And although Fops has only completed 3 of his 8 passes, which is quite abysmal, those passes have been key, just like this one. Oh, Robin Banks jumping up for the ball, but unable to tap his feet in bounds. That's going to be another out-of-bounds pass for Fops, his second of the day. He threw a corner route. I don't know if it was to Robin Banks. I think it was just to Jeremy B, but he was unable to keep it in bounds. This will be a 2nd and goal. Ace Ducey up the middle. He'll get it to the 5-yard line before Todd Brabadop tackles him down. Hellcats to the 4. It'll be 3rd down for the Hellcats. Now, credit to the Stoats. The Hellcats have not converted once on a 3rd down. And if the Stoats can keep that streak alive, they'll prevent going down 2 scores. Out of the pocket. It's tipped away. Alex Fops rolling out of the pocket on a play-action play. He threw it to the left back corner of the end zone. And Dennis Creamy made a great play on it, just swatting it out. The bullet pass tipped away. And the Hellcats at the 4-yard line will have to settle for a 22-yard field goal. And the kick is good, so that's good news for the Stoats. They don't go down 2 scores. So 2 touchdowns will get them back in control of the game. The problem is getting them. Marquis Schertzer, and especially the run blocking for Giovanni Foulplay has not been A+ with what little we've seen, granted, in this game. The Hellcats are doing a good job at shutting them down. But honestly, some defensive play calls have me scratching my head on the Stoats side of the ball. As Quaffit shakes a tackle, he'll get to the 25 this time. Schertzer has to have a great long-term memory, terrible short-term memory to get that interception out of his mind. Foul play is only going to get 2 yards on that off-tackle run. And normally those off-tackle runs are where the Stoats do a majority of their business, pun intended. But the Hellcats have just been on fire with shutting it down. Toby Wrightson, number 94, left end, is largely responsible for that. He just shakes the block really well, and look at this, the hole. What? Girardi Foulplay has not been tackled. There's a flag on the play. What happened there? Connor Rushman with holding on that nonsense. Oh my god, there was a big scramble, like no one was tackling foul play. It was like shaking around Cheerios in a bowl. And, man, the Stoats get nailed with a penalty of somebody trying to make a hole, and it just not working out. I love the TNFL. It's, man, he has ran down Ty Spears, just killed a man. Oh my god. What happened to the blocking on that one? The Stoats were up to the 25-yard line, but they've lost 10 yards, it seems, on this drive. It's 3rd and 20 now, and they're at their own 15. Marquis Schertzer back to throw. It's a deep pass to a triple-covered Bram Van Spekeloos, and that's tipped away by Jonathan Biggs-Grande. Hellcats all converging on the high pass to Bram Van Spekeloos, and the Stoats, who continue to have troubles in this game, will have to punt it away yet another time. The Hellcats should get good field position on it. The line drive punt being caught by Ben Sports at the 44 of the Hellcat side of the field. Hellcats looking to keep the pedal to the metal here in their home stadium by tacking on some more points to bring the Stoats down 3 scores. And what better man to do it than Ace Ducey? 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first half. Ace Ducey gets a great B-gap hole. That'll be a 6-yarder to the 49. Good information for the Hellcats. Ace Ducey on the counter run. No one there on the left side of the field. Ace Ducey gets a big run to the 40 and a first down. Hellcats once again into enemy territory, and the Stoats just aren't there on coverage. Roy Burley in his running back. He's going to receive the handoff, but boom! Finally some run stopping in the form of Elijah Beard with a hard hit to bring down the runner for no gain. It'll be a 1-yard tackle for loss. The Hellcats pushed back to the Stoats 40. Flops in the shotgun beside Roy Burley. It's a 4 wide receiver set, and now it's a 5 wide receiver set. Burley audible to the line of scrimmage. Flops. Stoats only send 3. Throws it deep to the left corner of the field. And what an amazing catch by second-year Hellcats, Ahmad Cardsgrave. Finally, Alex Fops throws one inbounds on one of these plays. And tight coverage from Queg Quaffit can't tip the ball away. A great catch from the veteran. That being brought inbounds at the Stoats 12-yard line. Roy Burley off tackle, no one there, stopped at the 8 as we hit the 2-minute warning, and the Hellcats are imposing their will on the Stoats defense this game. Ace Ducey hits the handoff. Will be a yard short of a first down at the 3. But with Ace Ducey running an average 6.4 yards per carry in this first half, doesn't take a Sherlock sleuth to determine what the Hellcats will do here. Although it'd be very TNFL for Alex Fops to play action and then do nothing. Yeah, Ace Ducey into the end zone. Zeitgeist too late to get the block, and the Hellcats are now at 19-0. This home crowd enjoying themselves. And the Stoats, unless they can solve their problems on offense, this is going to be a long game for them. And the kick is good. Alex Fopp so far avoiding the interception bug that's bitten Marquis Schertzer once today. A minute 41 remaining in the first half. Fred Quaffit in his own end zone to return the ball. But he's shakes a tackle to the 20, and that'll be it for him. As Cody Sessler, special teams, and former Beefers legend who had the game-winning pick 6 in overtime in Normal Bowl 2 appears to have injured his chest. He's getting checked on. Fan favorite Cody Sessler, and Marquis Schertzer wasting no time. He'll start in the shotgun at the 20-yard line. Hellcats send 4, rolling out of the pocket. They get it to Bram Van Spakelos, who steps out of coverage for a 3-yard reception. Looking down, Schertzer in the shotgun. Hellcats send 4. Schertzer tries to scramble out once he sees Chris Furious charge at him, but he just can't. As it's not only him, but it looked like Toby Wrightson jumped on him as well. That was a bad call from the Stoats quarterback, and that'll bring up a third down after a big loss. Minute 20 remaining. And the Stoats are just going to give it to Girani foul play. Whoa! Penalty on Michigan. 5-yard face masking. That's an inadvertent face mask penalty in an attempt to bring foul play down. Foul play almost fell over for that first down. So usually what happens there is I think the Stoats were just going to say, screw it. This drive is not going anywhere. Let's run it so we get a better position to punt. And then he went and did it, aided by a penalty. What a huge break for the Stoats, who get it to Frank Millenballer past the 50. We have life from the Martins visiting here in Michigan. Schertzer maintains in the shotgun, 4 wide receiver set. Hellcats once again sending forward. It's a corner throw, once again picked up by Millenballer, almost to the 35, as the Stoats call a timeout with 1 minute remaining in the half. Abdominal strain from Cody Sessler out from the game, so that'll be a multi-game injury for Mr. Sess. Clint Hardball in. As the running back, Marquis Schertzer in the pocket, rolls out, looks for a corner route to Brad Spakelos. It's caught at the 7! Timeout for the Stoats, their second of 3. Jordy Howell play, audible to the line, 5 wide receivers set. The Stoats looking to spread out the Michigan defense as wide as possible. Throw to the side, great play design. Nobody was on Frank Millenballer. Touchdown Stoats, and you gotta wonder, where was this the whole game? Nobody was there. What an incredible audible there from Schertzer, as hopefully he's finally able to handle the reins of the offense, and hopefully this will be the first touchdown of many in their quest to catch back up with the Hellcats. Successful field goal for Dion Shankmeat puts the first points of the Stoats on the board. It's 20-7 here with 50 seconds left to play in the first half. The Hellcats, currently the best team in the league, 4-1, tie-breaking the also 4-1 Janitors on point differential. And the Stoats currently 3-2 on the season, looking to go to 4-2 to keep pace with the Janitors. And Sports will only get it past the 25. I don't know how. Who is that? Whose number was that? I don't know how that Stoat got through all of those lead blockers for Sports. The Hellcats have 2 timeouts remaining with 47 seconds left to go, so that's just enough to get something going here. Play action, throw to the outside, tries to get it to, that looked like Jeremy. Who was that? I'm losing my mind. That's the second time in a row I wasn't able to get whose number that was. I could have sworn that was Jeremy B, but usually he's on the right side of the field. Given the position, that should be Robin Banks, but I don't think I saw a number 5 on that jersey. So I'm just going to assume I have head trauma here. Fopp staying in the shotgun. It's a corner route to Banks, but the woes of Alex Fops being unable to get a pass inbounds when thrown to the sidelines keeps nipping at him. And it's going to bring up a third down. The biggest story for the Stoats on defense is just their inability to penetrate the pocket of the Hellcats thus far, even though you have 3 amazing defensive linesmen. Stoats send 4. It's a quick throw, tapped away by Dennis Creamy, who is having a fantastic day today, if you ask me. He's been involved in numerous great defensive plays, including a great goal line stand. And Richard Stretchbull has to punt, 38 seconds remaining. And the Stoats have a singular timeout. So Craig Quaffit's going to be immediately tackled down at their own 25. God, Craig Quaffit's mustache. I'm just like, come on, shave, man. Jesus. So the Hellcats getting greedy on that last drive with only 30 seconds left to go in the half. Not really shaving off a lot of time trying to pass it. Marcus Bacon trying to get free. Marquis Scherzer sends one up to a streaking number 19, Brandon Waves, but that is tipped away by Trevor Torlywhirl. Injury report so far this half. Gary Osiris out with a dislocated thumb. And while he will need to get that treated, will be out of the game. I don't think he'll miss a game because of it. I'll have to check. And Cody Sessler, abdominal strain, interception for JBG. That's Jonathan Biggs Grande, the Season 2 Defensive Rookie of the Season. And Marquis Scherzer's second pick thrown today. Intended for Bram Van Spakelouse, but not nearly enough feather put under that ball. And the Hellcats will get another possession. 18 seconds left on the clock. They could go into the locker room up 23-7. They're able to play their cards right. Fops in the shotgun with two backs. Fops has to throw it away, as it's Elijah Beard getting in. So I finally noticed what's up for the Stoats. The Stoats are using like quarterback contain. So their defensive ends are just posted up at the sides, waiting for Alex Fops to scramble out of the pocket. You know how Alex Fops is known to do. He's always scrambling, apparently. And they're just not rushing him. It's very... There we go. The Stoats send 5 that time, and it's an interception this time for Ryan Coulier, the veteran Stoats. And we get a classic TNFL interception into interception. There we go. That one's for the quota. Fops' first interception of the game. 9 seconds to go. We'll see if Marquis Scherzer decides to throw it deep. Whether or not he'll concede the half. The Stoats will get the ball back. He throws it up for Brandon Waves at the 50. The Stoats will use their final timeout. All right, Scherzer, impress me. He's 50% for 108 yards and a touchdown with 2 picks. That is almost good for the TNFL. Scherzer back to throw. Throws it up for a double covered Frank Mellenballer, and that will end the first half of play. The Hellcats up 20-7. It'd be 13-7 if not for a mishap on special teams with, I believe it was Ryan Coulier who was filling in for Craig Quaffit on the punt kick return. He fumbled the ball after what was going to be a great return. And it was picked up by Dante Landra, or Ryan Tapdown, sorry. Sorry, wrong Magic the Gathering reference name. It was picked up by Ryan Tapdown for a fumble recovery touchdown. And the Stoats, they won the opening coin toss. They'll maintain possession of the ball. Hellcats bringing everyone in, loading up the tackle box, expecting a Girani foul play run. In fact, 2 people existing in the same space, and foul play, who's attacked the middle all game long, learns that that is Scott Colonelpop's house. And he picked the wrong house, fool. That'll be second down. Scherzer still at the 15. Scherzer back to throw. Big blitz from the Hellcats, and that one's thrown away. I think that was a little bit of miscommunication between the quarterback and the wide receiver. I don't know if that was an option play or whether that double route was intended, but the pass definitely off the mark. Scherzer drops to 7 for 16. Third down for the Stoats. Hellcats send 5. Scherzer throws it over the middle. It's tipped away by big ol' Scott Colonelpop. That'll bring out the Gabriel DeSavior to punt. Good blitzes from the Hellcats to force early throws this game. Their defense and their pass rush in particular has been great and a big reason for their success. Ben Sports behind the 40. We'll wait for the fair catch. as he's got Craig Quafford in his face. And off to Ace Ducey, off tackle, and a pancake wide cornerback will give Ace Ducey a big run all the way to the Stoats 45. That's going to bump up Ducey's average to 7.1 yards per carry. This guy is unreal. That was the Hellcats' 82nd rushing yard out of 77 passing. They've just been a hybrid offense today. Play action pass. The Stoats fall for it. Jeremy Beal, the corner route, gets it to the 25 over the protection of Dennis Creamy. And this Hellcats offense looks like they can't be stopped when they're running on all cylinders. Six minutes remaining in the third quarter. Ducey on the counter run. Lead block. Amazing first down. That's going to be another 11-yard run for Ducey. Just keep shoveling it on there, Hellcats. The home crowd here loves it every time you get a handoff. And the Stoats are just left without answers right now. Their left side of the field, particularly Craig Quafford and Dennis Creamy, just keep getting pancaked, allowing huge runs. Roy Burley now in as the running back, and he'll take it right up the middle. He'll find a good hole, shakes a tackle, will break another one into the one! That was Russell Waldenstein hanging on for dear life trying to tackle down the running back, and he barely wasn't able to break the plane of the goal. That'll be a big first down as the Hellcats have 4 tries to punch it in for another 6 points. And it's an outside pitch. What a block, man! That is so rude! That is so rude! I love... We're going to see a replay of this. Watch this pitch. So you think that Dennis Creamy has a free run to get a free tackle for loss, but he halts up just enough for fullback Aiden Spears to get a little hit in. Somehow he was able to proc the block before the tackle could happen. That is just playing with your food, Hellcats. That's another 7 added to the board as the Hellcats seem to not be able to do any wrong here. Up 20 points. The most points scored by any team this season was the Hellcats against the Shitbirds all the way back in week 1. It was something outrageous, like it was 48. The Gators scored a similar amount of points. I know it was less by 1 on the Shitbirds last week, in what was one of the most one-sided games I think I've ever seen. So once the Hellcat, my point being here, I'm not just saying that to sort of like style on the Shitbirds, although it definitely came across that way. When the Hellcats get going, they get going. And if the Stoats can't put it together here, they are going to feel that. Great blocking as foul play gets a 5-yarder. Ooh, sorry. It's going to take a lot more than that to get the Stoats back into the game. They're still down 3 scores. Schertzer in the shotgun for the second down. Stoats at the 24, and he's in trouble as Marquis Schertzer as he's ran down by Toby Wrightyson for a big loss. The Hellcats, they're getting sacks, they're getting pressures, they're getting interceptions, and they're getting yards both on the ground and through the air. There's just nothing this team is doing wrong today. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 14 for the Stoats. Hellcats only sending 3. They decide on foul play running the streak route. Not the streak, the drag route. That's well behind the sticks. And the Stoats will have to punt it away again. Gabriel Saver punts it, tries to get it out of bounds, and not a bad punt. Hellcats will get the ball at their own 45 after the Stoats were deep in their own territory after that big Toby Wrightyson play. And now it's going to be the Ace Ducey show once again. 3 minutes and a singular second left in the third down. Now it's a play action, but Fops is going to get tackled down by DJ Jario, who finally gets into the pocket for the first time this game. He'll only get a tuck rule sack, however. So it's not a real sack. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Courtney grumble, 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 if you will. So the Hellcats, 2nd and 10, still at their own 45. Ace Ducey outside pitch, but he's got Stoats all over him. That's only going to be a single yard gain. Ben Zeitgeist tackling down the runner. Fops in the shotgun for 3rd and 9. Play action pass. He's got a Stoat in front of him, and Ben Zeitgeist nearly makes an interception as Fops tried to get rid of it to the sideline. So we're finally seeing some Stoats get in on Alex Fops now. There's still quite a bit of football yet to play. You've still got 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in this quarter. You've still got a whole other quarter to go. But you're definitely running out of time. You got to wonder, where was this defense in the first half? Schertzer, 2 interceptions so far, but the Stoats will have to maintain their aerial attack to get anywhere, although foul play is just going to crunch on through for a 7-yarder to the 25. Vigo Brungerquist having to be brought in to relieve Gary Osiris, who's out with a dislocated thumb. 2nd and 2. Tyler Borsch showing pressure. Hellcats send 5. It's caught by Frank Mellenballer at the 30 for a first down. Referees will spot it at the 32. Stoats get the first down. Hellcats send only 3. Frank Mellenballer wide open almost to the 50. As the Stoats making their way down the field. They'll have to pick up the pace, though. They are down 20 points, and the third quarter is drawing to a close. Marcus Gameloud put in motion away from the center of the field. And foul play gets a good run to the Hellcats 46. So Stoats into enemy territory now. That'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. The Seattle Stoats down 20 points. The home team, the Michigan Hellcats, the #1 seed in the league right now. They're up 27-7. The Stoats have to come into this quarter with a head of steam if they want to make this a close one. Hellcats send 4, 5 make it, and they will get their man. DeMarcus Bacon gets another sack on the day. Third down. Stoats pushed back to the 47. Schertzer in the shotgun. He'll throw it to Mellenballer, and it's intercepted by Kevin Garbo. That is Schertzer's 3rd interception, and Kevin Garbo was roughly tackled down by that Stoat, and he has now injured his shoulder. That's the 3rd different injury for the Hellcats this game. The Ryan Tapdown will now have to defend against Frank Mellenballer. And the Hellcats are going down one by one. Throw to the outside. It's a take a drink. It's an out-of-bounds pass by Alex Fops at the sideline. That'll be 2nd and 10. The Hellcats at the Stoats 48-yard line. Ace Ducey, the lone back. Fop stepping back. Immediate pressure. Great catch by Ahmad Cardsgrave over at the 45. On the short reception through Stoats pressure. Yeah, here's another thing that's eerie. Cody Sessler, Kevin Garbo, and Gary Osiris. Great catch there by Ahmad Cardsgrave again to the Stoats 35. All of the injuries for the Hellcats this game have all been on the secondary, which was a literal sore point for them in Season 2, where they had Gary Osiris and I believe it was Ken Knapp, both with season-ending injuries, and the Hellcats had to sign former quarterback Johnny Talladega to play free safety. That was a fun season. 4 wide receiver set for Alex Fops, trying to get it to a sliding Jeremy B. That's going to be short and incomplete with the help of Dennis Creamy's defense. But the narrative of the Hellcats in Season 2 was that they were a great team, but plagued by injuries. Not only did they lose Ken Knapp and Gary Osiris, Alex Fops is also out for the season. And the Hellcats would finish the bottom of their division. Oh my god, did someone get the name of that truck? I did. It was Virgie Hambleton, and that's a big tackle for loss on Ace Ducey. It was Ken Knapp and Burt McStab. Right, I forgot about Burt McStabs. Right, Gary Osiris, I don't even think played for the Hellcats in Season 2. Ace Ducey off tackle. He's going to get converged upon. He's going to get a good 7 yards out of it, but far away from a first down. But he was able to run it into Ben Cowjet field goal territory. We'll see if they decide to go for it. They will put the yellow afroed wonder kicker for a 50-yard field goal try. And this, he doesn't miss, folks. He doesn't miss. Hellcats put another 3 on the board, increasing their lead to 23. So that will make it a 4-score game now for the Stoats. The Stoats now playing for point differential. Craig Quaffett running it to the 20-yard line. The Hellcats have hit the century mark in both passing yards and rushing yards. That's not something every team does every game. So convincing in their 30-7 game so far. There's still 5 minutes left to play, and American football is full of bullshit. Let me tell you, Marquis Schertzer back to throw. And Dante Landros gets a tuft of Marquis Schertzer and sends him to the ground. His first sack of the day. The Hellcats are going to be pushed all the way back to their own 14. We didn't get an injury report on Kevin Garbo, so it's assumed that he's already back to playing and that he was fine. Perhaps just winded, perhaps he just wanged something, but that's good news for the Hellcats. It's a big pass for Bram Van Spankelaus, but well defended by Jonathan Biggs-Grande, who tips it away. Marquis Schertzer trying to go to the well of the Cookie Dutchman, but the coverage is just too good on the one-on-one. Usually when you see a one-on-one like that, if you're a quarterback, you're just salivating at the opportunity to get big yardage, but when you're going up against Jonathan Biggs-Grande, a one-on-one is not a guarantee in this sport. Schertzer throws an interception to Scott Colonel Pop, and that will likely seal the game for the Hellcats. There's still a lot of football to play, but with the Hellcats up 4 scores, and Colonel Pop adding to his interception count of the season with another one here today. Hellcats at the 17-yard line. Ace Ducey off tackle. There's a pancake. There's another block as Ducey runs it all the way to the 5. It's just not fair, dude. It's just not fair. Ducey hit the century mark after that run. Two tight ends and Roy Burley in. Robin Banks audible to the other side of the formation. Roy Burley counter run, and he stopped for no gain. Ryan Coulier on the blitz. Same formation. Roy Burley on the counter run, and D-Jam Jario. Oh, that's Damar Hott, sorry. Virgie Hamilton, one of the three. I'll just throw names until I get the right one. Virgie Hamilton getting another big stop there and opening up some breathing room in this goal line stand. Roy Burley outside run. And Gabriel Menace blocks Roy Burley's way to another touchdown. The Hellcats now pinning 36 points against the Stoats today. A 9-yard touchdown run for Roy Burley. I'll tell you what, this kennel is full of happy Hellcats fans. The interception from Scott Colonel Pop, leading to that touchdown. We have 2 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in this game. Stay tuned, folks. At the top of the hour, we'll be bringing you the second game of tonight's doubleheader. It is the Toronto Trash Pandas against the Wyoming Janitors. Should be a good one. The Stoats need to put more points on the board right now. So not only are they going to suffer a loss and bring them closer to both the Shipbirds and the Beefers, making the second place battle for the over there division much more chaotic. The third tiebreaker is point differential. Like, if the Stoats take a big 30-point hit to that, as Schertzer throws another interception, Ryan tapped down, getting the ball. That is not going to bode well when the Stoats are tied with somebody for that second place spot. Tied with win-loss, tied with divisional win-loss, and it has to come down to points. You're going to think about games like this, where you just dropped a negative 30. That's Schertzer's 5th interception. Holy moly. You gotta think that's because the Stoats are demotivated. Fops is throwing the ball. Okay. Todd Bropidop tipping that one away. It was a one-on-one between him and Jeremy B had broken through to the end zone. Good work there from the safety playing high, tipping that away, preventing any more insult to injury. However, with the Hellcats at the 27, Ace Ducey going off tackle. We'll get a 9-yard run past the 20, almost to the 15. That'll be the Hellcats. 133 for rushing yards as we hit the 2-minute warning. Everyone was scared of the Stoats at the beginning of the third season here. They started with a loss to Wyoming, but after that they had a full head of steam, and it was these last 2 games. It was their loss against the Toronto Trash Pandas that really started the bad omens. And then only being able to beat the Rollers by, scoring only a singular touchdown. Something is up with the Stoats recently that's got them off their mojo. And thankfully, with just how the division is stacking up, they still have lots of time. They're still very much in this playoff race. But the Hellcats putting another field goal on the board. They're up 40-7 now. The Hellcats are running away with the over there division. And as they continue to do good, the Rollers' chances of getting that second spot in the division for a playoff becomes increasingly nothing. They still haven't found a win this game yet, do the Hamilton Rollers. I think the rivalry between the Gators and the Trash Pandas is going to be super spicy this season. I can't wait. One of those two teams is not making the playoffs. Ryan Coulier making his second return since fumbling the ball earlier in the game. He gets it to the 35. Schertzer in the shotgun. He can waste no time here. Stoats need touchdowns. Tries to get it to Keegan Silverblood on the tight end go route. But the Hellcats converge, tip it away. Second and 10. 4 wide receivers set for Marquis Schertzer beside foul play in the shotgun. Ball snapped. Tipped away. That was by Gatien Dupuis, tipping the ball away. For you Frenchman fans out there. Is it Dupuis or Dupois? I'm not an Anglo man. Sorry, I meant Franco man. I am an Anglo man. That's the problem. 1:38 remaining. Marquis Schertzer stepping back. He gets a face full of DeMarcus Bacon. He gets another sack. And the Stoats will have to go for it on 4th down. They throw it behind the sticks to Keegan Silverblood. And that's a turnover on downs. This will be the second game this season the Hellcats have hung 40 or more points on another team, as they continue tearing away team after team here. Roy Burley off tackle. Oh, what is this blocking? What do you do about this? This is getting... Oh my god. Roy Burley, 8 rushes, has a 6 yard per carry average now. He got it damn near almost to the end zone on that one. Stopped at the 2 by the safety. The Hellcats already with the best point differential in the game. And Roy Burley, look, every Stoat I think was sent to blitz there. I don't think there was a single Stoat in coverage there. It was just a, like, someone opened the bag of chips upside down into the pocket of the Hellcats. That was incredible. Roy Burley off tackle, and he'll be stopped again. This time by Elijah Beard. Nobody using any timeouts. It's kind of obvious how this game was going to end. Now again, kudos to the Stoats. They've only allowed the Hellcats to convert on 3 third downs out of 11 tries, but they'll get it on this one. As that was backup running back Levi Gunshow, running back 4, stepping in, and now he's got a touchdown. I don't think we saw Jordan Mycock this game. It just went right to Levi Gunshow. But everyone's getting in on the beating now. The Hellcats at 46 points now. It'll be 47 pending this Ben Cowjet extra point. And the kick is good. The Hellcats up 40 points against the Stoats. That is a number. They're going to head back to the over there division, like, coffee house there in Seattle, wherever they are. They're going to see the shipbird sitting there, and then they're going to look up. He's going to say, "You too?" Good return there by Ryan Coulier. There's only 21 seconds remaining. We'll see what the Stoats do. The Stoats might... If I were the Stoats, I'd just kneel here and just call it a day, regroup. There's still a lot of the season left to play. But Scherzer looks like he's going for broke here. He's in the shotgun. Hellcats send 4. Scherzer has to throw it away, and that's just a microcosm of just the entire day for the Stoats. Just the great pressure from the Hellcats causing those inadvertent throws. Scherzer has thrown 5 interceptions this game thanks to it. And it's just a simple ingredient in the recipe that has baked the Hellcat success. Over the middle. Keegan Silverblood with his first reception past the 45, and Marquis injured his elbow on the play. This, like, at what point do you stop trying? Because you know injuries are a thing, right? As much as you want those points to help save your season. Well, honestly, I think Stoats management was like, do we want Billy Brumbus back? And it looks like the decision might have been made for them, depending on the severity of that injury. Brumbus throws it deep to Frank Ball, and they score a touchdown on the first play. Billy Brumbus is back in. Brumbus, I think you got the job, pal. I think you got the job. That... My God, if there was one thing you could do to unscrew an entire jar of salt and dump it on the gaping wounds of Stoats fans right now, I think it is that. Holy moly. The kick is good, and that's the saltiest 7 points I think you'll ever see. Hey, what? Well, we're still waiting for a report back on Marquis Scherzer. We haven't got a report back from Kevin Garbo at all, so I assume he's good. Seven seconds left in the game. Alex Fops is going to get the I guess, not just Alex Fops, but the Hellcats are going to get this ball. They're just going to kneel. As is Jonathan Biggs Grande now getting the kick return, and this will be a kneel, and we'll get to our second game of the night. The run blocking, insane. The pass game, insane. The defense, insane. The special teams, insane. This truly is a team that is hell to go up against. And it's the second game the Michigan Hellcats have scored more than 45 points on. I'll scroll through the quarterbacks here to see the extent of Marquis Scherzer's injuries, because that's what everyone is thinking right now. Oh, 4 play. Okay, so it was a minor injury. He's only out for 4 plays. So they won't, like, lose him for a couple of games or so, but Billy Brumbus 158.3. 1 touchdown, 1 completion, 56 yards. He's like, dude, I'm right here, dude. Oh no, man. He's Ducey running 113 yards. He's cheating. Frank Mellenballer, the most targeted wide receiver in tonight's game, at 132 yards for him. Yeah, even Roy Burley, 2 rushing touchdowns, man. Like, what can you do about this? Will Brickmortar, Gabriel Menace, Jason Grunge, Robin Banks, each of them with 5 or more. Paul McGormick. These 5 right here, there's not, like, the next Stoat is Farley Love at 4, and he allowed 2 sacks. Like, this is how you win games right here. Oh my lord. Okay, yeah, the tackling leader, Ben Zeitgeist. The Stoats are so happy to have him back after suffering a concussion. No interceptions for him, but yeah, lots of tackles, lots of tipped aways. Interceptions by Coulier, Biggs, Grande, Twirly World, Garbage, Tap Down, Colonel Pop all got in, with Marquis Scherzer throwing 5 interceptions. And yeah, that's going to do it for this game.